Today, we're going to be talking about, let me take my glasses off. Today, we're going to be talking about Brexit. And what I'd like to find out from my go-to economist is what is the short and long-term effect, if any, on commercial real estate.
I think there have been a lot of questions over the last few days about, well, what does this vote mean for commercial real estate, and in particular from investors and operators of assets in New York City, San Francisco, other major global gateways. What does this mean for our markets? At this point, one of the challenges is in interpreting, well, we have a vote. What does that really mean for what happens next? There is no clearly defined path for what this result means. What I'll say is the immediate effect for commercial real estate, however, is that London in particular has enjoyed a privileged position in the global commercial real estate landscape, along with New York and San Francisco and a couple of other global gateways in the aftermath of the financial crisis. I think what you and I have observed many times is that while the financial crisis, at least the worst days of the financial crisis, are now well behind us. This recession, at least technically, has been over for 7 years. For many reasons, it doesn't feel like that. But in terms of the economy's return to growth in the United States, it's 7 years as of this June. And in spite of that, the degree of global uncertainty, the slow speed at which the global economy and labor markets and capital markets have recovered have meant that we have this persistent source of risk aversion. And some part of the global real estate portfolio has gravitated towards safe havens. Safe havens of liquidity, safe in terms of the ease of transacting assets, safe havens of political and economic stability. London has really been a great beneficiary of that. What I think we've seen happen over the last couple of days is that people's sense of the economic and political stability that London represents, our confidence has really been shaken. That doesn't mean that investors are suddenly going to start selling their assets in London. I think what it does mean is that over the course of the next couple of months, couple of years, if we move along this trajectory, that an investor who is saying, there's some part of my portfolio that I want to have invested in some part of the world that I feel is stable, that I feel is a safe haven for investments, that is not correlated with my part of the world or my real estate market. Where are they going to look? And their ability to look to the UK and say, this is a safe haven for capital, that really is a place where I can take for granted economic and political stability, that has been undermined. And so I think that incremental dollar that is looking for that safe haven will now it's far more likely that it'll go to New York City than that it will go to London. So the weight of capital flows, which has already been very strong in favor of a market like New York, actually strengthens somewhat. That balance tips in favor of New York.
Can I interrupt you a second?
Sure.
Now, is that a short-term or long-term shift?
Well, I think it really depends on what does happen next. And, I think that, as part of that, what we have to realize is that, while there are uncertainties around what happens next with the UK and its relationship to the European Union, it also does imply another order of uncertainties, both political and economic. The economic source of uncertainty, I think, comes from the fact that wherever we go in the world, when there is a significant geopolitical shock, or significant geopolitical uncertainties, that is undermining to investment in the economy. If I'm a business that is thinking about, investing in a new factory, hiring more people, right now I may be more inclined to say, I'm going to wait and just see what happens, then take the leap and make an investment where there's some element of risk. And what is of concern is that if we see some subset of firms or a large number of firms that say, I'm just going to hold off for a bit, then that becomes a little bit self-fulfilling. The lack of hiring, the lack of business confidence, the undermining of consumer confidence, ultimately are the things that can lead us into a contraction. That can happen in the UK. It's very likely that we could see some degree of contraction across the European Union. The next, I think, thing that we need to be worried about in that regard is that it's not just uncertainties related to the nature of the UK's exit, but it does open the door for other economies, not just within the European Union, but within the Eurozone, the currency itself, to say, perhaps I will revisit my relationship to this larger institution.
Howard F. Klein, attorney focusing on commercial real estate leasing, when experience counts.
This show is brought to you by The Broker List, the CRE community's first free online platform for finding brokers, deals, services, and vendors. And Quantum Listing is the new mobile crowdsourced real estate listing app for commercial real estate agents, owners, and tenants.